So in this video, I am recommending 8 rock-solid, low-budget sci-fi films released since 2000, and every single one of them is worth your evening. These are not bloated superhero movies. These are not franchise cash grabs. These are small, sharp, ideas-first films that know exactly what they are and deliver on it completely. Alright.
Do you not agree that the mania surrounding celebrity is reaching an unhealthy level?
No, I don't.
All the way at the bottom of this list, we've got a movie that is cold, clinical, and deeply, deeply weird in a way that will absolutely get under your skin. And I mean that literally as well as figuratively. The premise here is one of the most original things I have encountered in modern science fiction. We are in a near-future world where celebrity obsession has gone so far off the rails that there is an entire commercial industry built around selling live viruses harvested from sick celebrities to fans who willingly inject themselves. Because owning a piece of your favorite icon biologically, physically, is the ultimate form of devotion. And yes, it is just as disturbing as it sounds. Our lead is played by Caleb Landry Jones, who looks like he hasn't slept since childhood and carries this film on his sickly, hollow-eyed shoulders. The whole thing is shot in blinding white. The aesthetic is immaculate. Sterile walls, fluorescent lighting, zero warmth anywhere on screen.
I don't understand how this isn't considered cannibalism.
It feels like a horror film set inside a very high-end dermatology clinic. Now, this is a slow burn. It is not going to hold your hand. But if you appreciate cerebral sci-fi horror that is also a genuinely stinging piece of social commentary about fame and consumerism and parasocial relationships, the juice is absolutely worth the squeeze. And the director's last name will ring a very familiar bell for horror fans. That film is ANTIVIRAL, the debut feature from Brandon Cronenberg, son of David. The apple did not fall far from the tree. Now, I have to be upfront with you here. If you're coming into this one expecting a traditional alien invasion movie, fighter jets, explosions, cities getting leveled, you are going to be disappointed. That is not what this is. And once you let go of that expectation, you are going to be rewarded with something genuinely special. Monsters was made by Gareth Edwards. Yes, the same guy who eventually went on to direct Godzilla and Rogue One, but he made this one essentially by himself. He took 2 actors through Mexico with a small crew, improvised most of the dialogue on location, and then built the alien creatures himself on his laptop at home. The budget on this thing was almost nothing, and it looks and feels incredible. The aliens are barely in it, and that is entirely the point. 6 years have passed since they showed up. There's a quarantine zone, there's a border wall, life is just kind of adjusted around them. Our 2 leads, a photojournalist and the boss's daughter, are just trying to get home, and the film is really about that. 2 people crossing a changed landscape and slowly, reluctantly connecting. It is atmospheric, it is intimate, and the ending hits somewhere you won't expect. I went back and rewatched this one recently, and I'd forgotten how good it actually is. A rock-solid, independent sci-fi film. That movie is Monsters, worth every minute.
Gareth, do you recognize this girl?
Yes.
What's her name?
Cherry.
Next up, we've got one of the smaller, tighter, more claustrophobic sci-fi films on this entire list, and it is an absolute knockout. This thing operates almost like a stage play. Confined rooms, sharp dialogue, intense philosophical debate, and it earns every single minute of your attention. The concept involves an artificial intelligence created for a genuinely noble and protective purpose, and I'm gonna leave it at that, because going in cold is the right way to experience this movie. What I will say is that the film starts as one thing and quietly, almost imperceptibly becomes something else entirely. By the time you get to the back half, you are in deep existential territory. It is asking real questions. At what point does a digital consciousness deserve rights? If something can perfectly simulate memory and emotion and trauma, does the distinction between real and artificial even matter anymore? And it is not preachy about any of it. It presents all sides, it lets the performances carry the weight. Now, some people will find this one too slow. I get that. But if you liked Ex Machina, and if you haven't seen Ex Machina, fix that immediately, this scratches the exact same itch. Excellent performances, zero wasted budget, ideas that will stick with you. That movie is The Artifice Girl, a real gem.
is replicated elsewhere. There's another you out there.
Now, this next one has a sci-fi premise, but I want to be clear that the science fiction is almost beside the point. There is a second Earth in the sky. It appears one night, visible to the naked eye, hanging there like a mirror. And the film uses that image not as a plot driver, but as a sustained, beautiful metaphor for guilt, for regret, for the unbearable weight of what might have been. It premiered at Sundance in 2011 and took home 2 prizes, which makes sense because this is a quiet, devastating, really well-made film. Co-written by and starring Britt Marling, who walked away from investment banking to make this movie on almost no money. That choice, that leap, you can feel it in the film. There is something earned about it. Mike Cahill directed it, shot it himself, and edited himself. And it has been compared to Tarkovsky's Solaris, which, if you know that film, tells you exactly what register this is operating in. It is not a film about space. It is a film about the infinite, crushing arbitrariness of fate. Now, this one is deliberately paced. It is melancholy. If you need things blowing up, look elsewhere. But if you want something that genuinely stays with you, quietly, stubbornly stays with you, this is it. That movie is Another Earth. Now, keep in mind we are only talking about the best low-budget sci-fi films released since 2000 that are absolutely worth your time. If you are getting value out of these recommendations, like the video and subscribe for future ones. I put out a video like this once or twice a week, every week. Genuinely appreciate you watching. Alright, change of pace. This next one is a Spanish indie science fiction thriller, and it is one of the most tightly plotted, relentlessly logical time travel films I have ever seen. And I mean that in the most complimentary way possible. An ordinary man watching the woods near his house with binoculars witnesses something he shouldn't. He goes to investigate. Things go very wrong. He ends up inside a time machine, and what follows is a closed-loop nightmare that the film enforces with almost comedic ruthlessness. Once the rules are set, they are set. Every attempt to fix the situation makes it worse. Every escape route loops back around to the exact same problem. The tone here is interesting. There is almost a dark, absurdist humor running through it, like the universe is watching this poor man spiral and finding it genuinely funny. It is tense and violent and uncomfortable, but it is also kind of hilarious, in that bleak way where you don't know whether to laugh or just feel bad for the guy. Now, if you have seen Shane Carruth's Primer, and if you haven't, go watch it immediately, this one covers similar ground but plays more like a thriller and less like a physics homework assignment. A lot of fun, very rewatchable once you know how the pieces fit. That movie is Time Crimes, a genuinely underrated little gem.
When I look at the time, it's 11:11. I start to see these 11s everywhere.
Now this next one is going to split the room, and I know it. Some of you are going to watch it and text me at midnight completely undone by it. Others are going to think it got a little too sentimental in the back half. Both reactions are totally fair. I am firmly in the first camp and I stand by that. This is Mike Cahill again, same director as Another Earth, and you can absolutely feel the DNA. Same yearning quality, same melancholy, same genuine respect for the audience's intelligence. The film follows a molecular biologist studying the human eye as potential evidence in the debate between evolution and intelligent design. And then his personal life collides with his professional obsession in ways that are genuinely surprising.
To me, the best thing about living like a lab rat is that sometimes you actually discover something.
Britt Marling is in this one too, by the way. She and Cahill clearly operate on the same emotional frequency, and I am not complaining. The cinematography is gorgeous. The eye is given more emotional weight in this film than most directors give their entire protagonists, and the second act goes somewhere you absolutely do not see coming. It is a flawed film. The female characters could have been better developed, but the questions it's asking about consciousness, identity, and whether science and faith can coexist, those land, especially toward the end. That movie is Eye Origins, worth the ride. Now here's one that I will admit, on paper, sounds like it should be completely impossible to recommend with a straight face. There are 0 special effects in this movie. 0. One location, essentially, a house, a porch, a group of professors standing around having a conversation. That is the entire film, and it is one of the most gripping, fascinating 2 hours of science fiction I have ever seen. A man is leaving his job. His colleagues are throwing him a farewell party. They ask why he's moving, and he tells them. He has been alive for 14,000 years. He is a prehistoric Cro-Magnon man who simply never aged. He knew cave paintings when they were new. He may or may not have been a figure you would recognize from religious history. And then the film becomes this beautiful, tense, intellectual interrogation as each colleague brings their specialty to either dismantle or seriously consider his claims. The script was written by Jerome Bixby, who wrote for The Twilight Zone and Star Trek, and he worked on this idea for decades, completing it literally on his deathbed. That context hangs over the whole thing in a way that gives it genuine weight. Some of the acting is a little uneven, the score occasionally gets in the way. Neither of those things matters once the story grabs you. This film spread entirely through word of mouth and became a cult classic without a single theatrical release. That movie is The Man from Earth. Honestly, cannot believe more people haven't seen this one.
It was as though this plan had been with him all his life, pondered through the seasons.
And then we've got my number one pick. And I had an easy time with this one because there was never really a competition. If this list is about low-budget sci-fi films that do more with ideas and atmosphere than money ever could, there is only one possible answer at the top. Richard Kelly made this film for almost nothing. It bombed at the box office, it found its audience slowly through late-night cable and word of mouth and DVD rentals in the early 2000s, and became one of the most discussed, most dissected, most rewatched cult films in modern cinema history. And going back to it now, it absolutely holds up. Not just holds up, it feels like it was made to be discovered exactly this way, in the dark, late at night, with no expectations. Jake Gyllenhaal is extraordinary here. Not crazy, not unhinged in some cheap performative way, just curious, deeply, unsettlingly curious about a world that seems to be operating on a frequency only he can almost hear. The whole thing is set in 1988 suburbia and shot in this gorgeous autumnal palette that makes the mundane feel like it's about to crack open.
Friend Frank, the giant bunny rabbit.
The what?
There is a jet engine, there is a 6-foot rabbit, there are timelines and wormholes, and an elderly woman known as Grandma Death who wrote the book, literally wrote the book on temporal mechanics, and none of it is explained to your satisfaction, and that is completely the point. The theatrical cut is the one I recommend. Let it not quite resolve. Sit with the ambiguity. It rewards you for it. That movie is Donnie Darko, my number one pick on this list without question. Now, if you are looking for what to watch next after this, I have a video going up that I have genuinely been sitting on for a while, and it is finally ready. We are talking 8 movies, thrillers, horrors, a Korean nightmare, a British sci-fi puzzle box, a 1930s murder mystery, the whole spread. That video is up right now. Go watch it next. If you like this one, leave it a like. It genuinely helps other people find the channel. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in the next one.